Hi. Uh, Welcome to the Nico Space Place. I'm not sure how good the shot is because I can't see. I got a small screen as a second display. Um I look tacky on purpose because it's funny and it kind of matches the theme. I have something to get off my chest. No, it's not even about getting off my chest. We need to discuss something. Race relations in America. Let me start. True story that happened to me. I was walking my dog, and my new black neighbor was in her yard and asked me if I had a lawnmower and if I could use it. I already know where this is going, and I don't lie. I said yes. I have a lawnmower, but I avoided the situation by by saying I had asked my parents before I could let her use it. I can already tell that if I let her use it, she'll come over again and again and again, asking, "Can I use the lawnmower?" Dependent. Look, is that not true? How we've we can all agree how the black mind is. They'll come back and ask and beg, remembering that one time you let them. We've all been in this situation before. Years of living it. It's just an uncomfortable situation that we just decide we want to forget because we feel like we'd be a great person, a better person, feel better about ourselves if we forget about this and admit that it's not a truth. And so to avoid the situation of both parties being taken advantage of and minimal annoyance and frustration, I need an intellectual roundtable to form a solution that results in both parties to be content. We don't let actual intellectual leaders be able to have honest discussions about the truth about just race in general. And because America is such an influential figurehead in culture, we've decided, and that we've let activists determine what we should think, what we should do, what we should say. Um, a lot of negatives have resulted in that because we don't let the genuine smart people have a voice, or we don't put them on a pedestal, or they're not even selected to have a voice, to have a say, to have a to be taken seriously. There's people who are selected, who are chosen on the world stage to be figureheads of the right and wrong opinions. Why don't we do that? The young Gen Z demographic, they've collectively realized how much they've been lied to just growing up throughout the years and picking apart the harsh realities of life. One of them being race, and how so many of you could pick out patterns and thoughts and actions of what and predict what a race will do. I even made a video about that, the melanin motivation one. It's pretty funny. I'm ridiculous. It's things like that, you know. Kids now aren't genuinely afraid um, to be honest about Jews, Judaism. We used to just be edgy, and say "Hell Hitler," uh, and be edgy and say uh, Jews are evil, uh, blacks are stinky, Asians smart, Asian math, Mexican lawnmower. You know, no nuance. But I notice the kids today now are expressing this, knowing what it actually means, with that true belief. And that's not good for, well, the people who select and choose figureheads and activists to give the correct opinions aren't going to like that. The ones who organize selections for societal sanity aren't going to like this. We're growing more and more as a culture that appreciates truth, that appreciates honesty, that appreciates intellectualism and studies because of how much we've been lied to through our food system, through our education, through our history. How much we've been lied to. There's a changing turn. Our news is, oh my gosh, our news. Not even our past, our present. We are lied to about it. We are lied to about health. There's a turning tide. There's I'm probably an about face of social standards and social norms, but it's not even. But I'm going to admit that this is a good thing because once we can all be honest with each other, be able to express truth, what is real, what is actually canon in Earth's entire history. Once we're able to all fully admit, subscribe to, and share common beliefs, just truths, universal truths. When we're all able to accept that and agree upon that, that's when we'll be able to find unity. That's when we'll be able to be peaceful with each other. And it'll be a natural one, not one influenced by the TV, Sesame Street influence. It won't be Sesame Street influence. It'll be genuine, real world neighbors knowing what to expect from each other and being able to communicate honestly about things. That's when we'll be able to have this a racial understanding. You know? This is why we need smart people to actually lead discussions and be able to be a part of discussions. The what was it? He had the highest IQ in who was revoked his Nobel Peace Prize. What was his name? I can't remember his name at the top of my head. My apologies. He was revoked his Nobel Peace Prize because he admit that race and IQ had a correlation. That some races aren't able to be as smart as other races. When we're able to admit uncomfortable truths and be able to be comfortable in that, that's when we'll be able to find peace and understanding. Because we've been conditioned to point we've been conditioned to point specific things out, and if we point out the things that we aren't supposed to, we're told that's evil, and we're conditioned and afraid to admit that because it's like evil and that's wrong to do. But what's wrong about being honest? What's wrong about telling the truth? That is what I don't understand. I hope I made you think. I hope I made whomever's watching this understand. I hope. Well, I know I'm not smart at all. I can think, but I'm not an intellectual leader. I'm just a thinker. I just ask the questions. And I hope I can inspire more questions. And I hope I'm able to help actually find a universal truth and understanding with each other. It's not even about finding a unity, being all together as one. It's just being able to be human. Not we've been race isn't necessarily a label, it's just a truth, It's in your DNA. It's not a label. It's not something insignificant. It is pretty significant to the rest of your life, race. You can correlate huge determining factors of who you can be and what you're able to do uh, you know, with just the color of your skin. Patterns are based off of truth, recognition, understanding. And I know one of the talking points against pointing out patterns is how that there are exceptions to the rule, but they're called exceptions for a reason. There's like a suspension of disbelief in reality when you point out, yeah, but uh, this person is taller, or this person is a pilot. This person was able to graduate. This person didn't go to jail. This person went to that college. There's exceptions and there's rules. Life wouldn't be interesting if there weren't any exceptions, to be honest with you. Just appreciate that. Those type of people don't make sense of reality. They don't like to pick it apart and like to enjoy the narrative of reality. They just like to subversion. I think that's what it may be. I think that's what I'm going for. Or they just don't live in reality. you know, they live on a different mindset, state of mind, planet of mind. This is something I've been talking about for years. 2018, 16 maybe, I don't remember. It's been that long. Just honesty. And I've gotten wiser and I've learned a lot more since then. And my mindset and a lot of beliefs I have changed since then because of how much more truth is exposed. I used to be I used to believe that, you know, I found myself as an outsider, an exception to the young teenage Mexican boys. I didn't like what they liked. I didn't like talking how they like to talk. I thought they were annoying. I thought they were really fucking stupid. I went to an all boys school, a really uh fifth on fifth grade. I moved into more like ghetto neighborhood, and so my schools and went to more ghetto schools, and so I was instead around like kind of Asians, whites, with Mexicans and blacks sprinkled in. It was literally just Mexicans and blacks, you know. So it was a culture shock when I saw people just kind of careless with their language, actions, dismissive, you know. Um, I learned something earlier this week. It was that 15-second nigga theory that there was a study from a Kenyan, I think it was a Kenyan or a Kenyan like philosopher who realized that, what was it, black people tend to not comprehend the future because it hasn't happened yet. It's not a reality to them yet. It's just and that's why there's a meme that black people can't comprehend hypotheticals, and that and why like a lot of blacks and even Mexicans can't tend to be punctual at times, because it's an uncomfortable truth, but you have to be honest. You really, really do. Um, and again, I have to go through this a lot. I don't know why I'm not defending myself. I'm just explaining. I hated the N word, especially when I was in middle school. It was like 6th, 7th grade. It's like I just hear them just nigga this, nigga that. You hear this before, right? I just like what? Like I used to just hate the word, but until I was able to accept reality, embrace the madness, kind of, it was just like a paradigm shift in a way. Because when I began to say it just ironically and then just adopt it, it just you gotta have fun. You gotta have fun in the madness, or the madness is going to eat you. That is a reality of truth. That that is that is truth of reality. You gotta just embrace the madness. You gotta find a way to be able to laugh at it ironically. You can't be too safe. Life isn't life is messy, you know? Especially with the things they throw at you socially, try to change you. Social engineering, how much of that they conduct, how much of that they try to influence, how much personality they try to strip from not only the individual, but the things the individual likes and the things the individual can create. I am so authentic and honest in being me. I can't be touched. Niggas can't molest me. You gotta hold steadfast and strong. You can't bend the knee to people who want to change your thoughts, your minds, especially if it's forces with billions of dollars that say and pay many people to tell you that what you believe in is wrong and evil and stupid. But if you can just tell, just by there through from the Holy Bible. I don't know why I had paper on scriptures. Truths that come from the Holy Bible, or truths that come from peer-reviewed research articles, or scientists that you know you can trust, who who value truth and understanding of the world and the secrets of the universe, who value that more than money to be influenced about what should really be believed. The carnivore diet is not bad for you. Not eating carbs is not bad for you. Excuse me. Brushing your teeth is not that necessary. as long as you take care of it and keep it polished, like with meat, you know. High fructose corn syrup is really what gives you, uh, and processed sugar are really what give you cavities and tooth decay. That's the truth. Fluoride makes you kind of retarded. I've been I haven't been drinking fluoride lately, but I have been eating a lot of Goislop, like Skippy peanut butter and Nutella, Eggo waffles. Uh, I feel kind of stupider. Uh, my thoughts are less complex, but I'm not. But I have less. My thoughts have been less complex, but they're still my thoughts. You know. Uh, they're actually just flatter and less webbed. Because I would worry a lot. You know. But if you're sedated and eat Goislop, you don't really worry. You're just chill. Retard maxing. Retard was an offensive word, or became an offensive word around the 90s, but they said it clear as day in the 70s and 80s. Heard in talk shows like Password Plus. They said, I help retarded children. Oh, thank you, Nancy. That's what you do. Good job. Thank you very much. If your activism is altering definitions, alternate, altering reality, you are from the devil. That is who you're serving. The devil only comes to cause chaos and confusion. As long as we keep our truths and beliefs, our beliefs simple and alongside the truth, we will be fine. It is the people who panic and worry are really who you need to worry about. You need to nip it in the butt and tell them, hey, we are fine as a collective. You're the one stirring discord. You're the one causing chaos. We don't want any chaos bringers and people who are happy, comfortable, relaxed, chilling. I think that's it. I think I should wrap that up. If you've watched along this far, I thank you very much. I appreciate if you've comprehended me. If I was able to be comprehended. I'm sorry, my brain is still kind of fried with how much crap I've been eating. 3 seizures in the past month. So I'm back on my medication. I learned it's like kind of a nerve suppressor. I could it's the reason why I'm able to withstand a lot of more pain than usual. And so as it like suppresses nerves, it can suppress thoughts or my mouth kind of hurts. um, I can't always focus. I fell asleep at 6 a.m. because I'm lonely as shit, and I love company. I love socializing. I love making friends. I love being attached. I like I like being addicted to people and being making attachments. That's just a flaw I have, but to be able to admit a flaw is a strength. To be able to say, yeah, I have a fucking problem. You have a problem just being able to not be scared to admit it. You're weak if you try to hide it, Like I said in my previous video. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed.